Welcome back. We're going to wrap up tonight on Sooner Politics Weekend Resort with our final report. And again, yes, cannabis medicine's been the theme this week just because there's so many breaking news items going on. The Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority is reporting an uptick in number of people seeking their medical marijuana license. Now, during the first couple of months, we've been seeing about 1,000 people a week getting authorized for treatment under their doctor's direction and care and recommendations for medical marijuana. But something happened around Thanksgiving. Ever since then, now all into December, all of December, and now we're halfway through January, and now we're at 2,200 people a week on average getting their medical marijuana license. Now the dispensaries, we had a big boom right off the bat first month, bunch of them. And there's still some more people getting licensed for dispensaries. But it started out, in October, we had about one dispensary license given out for every 10 patients. Well, the economics of that isn't going to work. If you only have 10 patients on average a month, you can't keep the doors open. Now we're up to 36, 37 patients per dispensary license. Now, one of the things you got to factor into this is we have home grow for our patients. We have a lot of patients that maybe early on they're going to buy it. But long term, if this is something that's working for them and in consultation with their doctor and their doctor's saying, yeah, this looks like it's working better than, let's say, your benzodiazepines. Or, yeah, this is working better than the opiate pain medicine. Or this is working better than, you can keep on going with your chemotherapy now because you've got your nausea taken care of. Maybe we're going to lick this cancer before it destroys you. Or, children with epilepsy, seizures, constantly. Your brain can't develop when it's constantly being interrupted with seizures. We may have real hope for these kids. We may have hope for the Parkinson's patients who just one drop of CBD oil, if it's the right kind that works with their body, all of a sudden they can get up and walk without shaking, they can talk and be understood, and they get their life back. It's amazing, folks. It's amazing what we're seeing happen here. It's just sad that our government has tied us in knots, has refused to let probably 98% of the requests for medical tests. They won't. And now we're starting to see it. Now the National Institutes of Drug Abuse is actually loosening up on cannabis medicine. The FDA starting to loosen up on it. I think we're turning the corner, folks. We're starting to get past the reefer madness legacy of the second half of the 20th century. I think we're going to get somewhere in this. But here's the thing, the dollars and cents. Okay, you want your growers to be able to get their product to market at the lowest cost possible, where they can still stay in business, and yet at a wholesale price, your processors that are turning this into oils, tinctures, edibles, all the different specialty medicines. And for some, vaping is, for many, the most ideal way to deliver the product, especially people with panic attacks and PTSD and anxiety disorders. But so we've got to get that processing in. We could kill them by over-regulating them and make it impossible for our suffering patients to have something. Keep in mind, we can't order this stuff from China. We can't even order it from Colorado. The law is it must be grown in Oklahoma. It must be processed in Oklahoma. It must be purchased by the licensed patients from a licensed dispensary in Oklahoma. We need to provide our sick people this medicine in our state. So we have to have a sustainable system. Now, I don't want a regulated, centralized, controlled rationing out of licenses. It never works, folks. It doesn't bring out the very best in entrepreneurship. You want the competitiveness of a true free enterprise system. Now, these fellas here with CBD Plus, they've got a chain of dispensaries. They've been selling CBD oil without THC for some time. And, you know, they're pretty successful. What we really need to see is for every, say, 80 or 90 patients on average, one dispensary open. Right now there's about 800 licenses out there for dispensaries. But many of them, most of them, have not opened up. We probably have, I would guess, somewhere around 200 to 250 dispensaries of varying amounts of hours, of operation. Some of them very busy. Some of them are little mom and pop shop in Wilburton, for instance. Not a lot of business, not a lot of customers yet, but by God, they want to take care of the people in their communities. So that's good. It's good for the economy of Oklahoma. So get this. Just in December, we're barely having product trickling in. I mean, our first crop's coming in. The Oklahoma Tax Commission reports $1 million in cannabis sales in December. They can't hardly keep a product on the shelf. $1 million in sales. 7% interest, plus they're being subjected to local sales tax. So it's helping the communities. It's helping, to take care of paving the streets, providing, core community services. We've got to find a way to make this work, and Sooner Politics is continuing expanded coverage on the medical marijuana industry. There's too many people that are too hurting, too sick, struggling, they're in pain, they need help, and I want to see Oklahoma step up on this. I'm David Vann for Sooner Politics. Thank you for being with me tonight. This has been a special report on the medical marijuana industry in Oklahoma. Hope you have a good weekend. Stay warm. Have a good night.